I remember the exact moment my heart went cold. The wedding was just 2 weeks away. Guests had already booked flights. Deposits were paid. Invitations were pinned to fridges. Everyone expected me to stand at that altar, smiling in a suit, promising forever. But forever died in a single heartbeat. As she laughed in the kitchen, phone in hand, her voice was bright like nothing in the world could touch her. She didn't know I was behind her. She didn't know I saw the reflection on the screen. She didn't know the air between US had shifted from warm to ice in a second. She didn't know everything I thought I knew about her had just been ripped apart. The video came from her bachelorette party. A secret recording slipped to me by someone who decided I deserved the truth. I watched her on that screen, my bride-to-be, doing things that didn't just hurt me, they murdered every memory we had built together. She wasn't drunk. She wasn't forced. She was smiling. She was leading. She was enjoying. Every second on that screen was a knife twisting deeper. In that moment, I didn't scream. I didn't throw the phone. I didn't even confront her. I simply set it down, let the sound of her laughter echo like broken glass, and walked out of the room. She stayed in her bubble of lies, untouched, unaware that her world had just shattered. We met in college. I still remember her then. Fire in her eyes, ambition in her smile, like she could bend the future to her will. I loved that about her. She told me she loved me because I was steady, dependable, the kind of man who thought 10 steps ahead. She used to tell her friends, "He's my safe place." And maybe that's why her betrayal cut deeper than bone. Because I gave her safety. And in return, she gave me a nightmare disguised as love. The signs had been there all along. Late night whispers with her friends that stopped when I entered the room. Jokes that ended in silence when I walked in. The way she looked at me after that party. Guilty but smug. Like she believed secrets could stay buried forever. But secrets don't stay buried. Not with me. The moment I confirmed the truth, my mindset shifted. I wasn't the broken fiancé anymore. I was the executioner who had just discovered his weapon. My first move was silence. Silence is sharper than any blade. I acted normal. I smiled at her, kissed her cheek, talked about honeymoon plans. She thought I was blind. She thought she had fooled me. But while she picked flower arrangements, I was cutting every root under her feet. I called the venue, canceled under her name, non-refundable. I called the caterer, the photographer, the band. All gone. I locked our joint account, funneled the balance into a separate account she couldn't touch. Every bill, every deposit, every receipt pointed back to her. By the time she noticed, she wouldn't just lose me. She would drown in the fallout. The night before the wedding, I vanished. I packed nothing but essentials. Drove until the city lights faded in the rearview mirror. No note, no call, just silence. She woke up expecting a groom. What she got was emptiness, silence, and financial ruin. The guests arrived to a canceled wedding. Her family asked questions she couldn't answer. Her friends whispered behind her back. She tried to reach me. Calls, texts, emails, all unanswered. But my silence wasn't the worst part. The worst part came when I sent the video. Not to her. To her parents. To her maid of honor. To her boss. To everyone who had ever seen her as perfect, polished, pure. The truth spread like fire. Faster than she could bury it. She tried to claim it was a mistake, that she was drunk, pressured. But the recording said otherwise. And so did her laughter in it. Her reputation burned in real time. And I didn't even need to raise my voice. I just let the truth do its work. Weeks later, she finally found me. She stormed into a small café where I sat alone, drinking black coffee, calm as stone. Mascara streaked her cheeks, her eyes hollow, her shoulders trembling. She was just a shadow of the woman who once thought she was untouchable. You ruined me, she spat, her voice shaking. I looked her in the eye and answered with ice. No, you ruined yourself. I just showed the world who you really are. Her voice cracked as she begged. Why didn't you just leave? Why destroy me? I leaned forward, steady, unshaken. Because you didn't just cheat. You humiliated me. And I don't forgive humiliation. She broke right there, in front of strangers, shaking, sobbing, as the cafe fell silent around her. People stared, but I didn't care. I stood, placed a few bills on the table, and walked out without looking back. I didn't need to. Her collapse was louder than any revenge speech I could ever make. Now, months later, I live in peace. No rings, no lies, no shadows lurking behind my back. She lost her job, her friends, her respect. Last I heard, she moved out of state, trying to start over where no one knows her name. Me, I'm fine, stronger, sharper, untouchable. They say revenge doesn't heal. Maybe they're right, but IT doesn't have to heal. It only needs to balance the scales. And when I remember her face in that cafe, crumbling under the weight of her own betrayal, I know the scales are balanced. I was supposed to be her safe place. Instead, I became her reckoning. And I carry no regrets.